Welcome. I am the Tarot Tactician. I can be reached only at TheTarotTactician@hotmail.com. I do not initiate contact. As with everything, exercise your own judgment and utilize your own discernment. In my world, you clear your karmic energy or leave with it. We start off with remember who you are. You are a powerful, loving, and creative child of God. You are very loved. That's an Archangel Michael message. 3 of Cups on the horizontal. There is some celebration on the horizon, and you're not reaching for it right now. Queen of Cups. Wheel of Fortune, 7 of Pentacles, and 4 of Cups. Hearing back to basics. Knight of Swords. It's time to take care of yourself as you've taken care of others. The love that you have poured into others is to be returned to you by your own hand. This is somebody who has a very deeply seated habit of, if you're given 2 items and you're supposed to give, split the items between yourself and another individual, this is an example. If one of the items has a chip or a tear or something about it that makes it, I will say here, use the term loosely, less valuable or less appealing than the other one, you would give the perceivably more valuable one to the other individual. It's time for you to start doing that for yourself, energetically speaking. All that perfection that you've poured out to others, re-gift it to yourself. It's your time now. Regift is not the right word. Redirect it to yourself. But it is a gift. And it is you getting into the practice of blessing yourself just as you have blessed others. Page of Swords, but not taking that, okay. Three of Swords. It seems like this is a behavior that developed as though it's a way of having people stay longer or stay around you. As if to say, if you treat them better than you treat yourself, then they will stay with you. You're coming out of a very unhealthy habit, and it seems harmless, but over time, and the message that this ingrains in your psyche is not helpful. But this is someone who, they're at the point now where, yes, it's time to change that. This is good. And this is something that has followed somebody for a very long time. When I say deeply seated, I mean years. This is going back to childhood. It's not clear when or how this started, but this is something to consider for yourself. Where did this come from? And is this learned behavior, or is this something that you developed from a specific situation in your timeline? But I'm seeing growth here. The Hermit. The power of 3 is very significant here. I heard exponentially significant. There's something specific about math skills. Either brushing up on or working with your math skills. The reason for that is unclear, but it doesn't need to be clarified in this situation. It's just something to keep in mind, because it's going to become very useful. 8 of Pentacles. Six of Cups. But we're not taking that, okay? 2 of Cups. And we're not taking that either. There are things coming up that are attempting to distract you from releasing this or from making this change for yourself. Or you're allowing yourself to consider that things coming in are a distraction or are meant to guide you away from taking this step for yourself. Be vigilant in your discernment. The Devil. I heard sweet talk. And the Hanged Man with the High Priestess behind it. This is somebody whose heart is... You wear your heart on your sleeve. You're very open and very loving. And you're very generous to the point where 9 of Swords, it has caused you much grief in the past. 7 of Swords, it's opened you up to manipulation. 10 of Swords, and carrying burdens that did not belong to you. 8 of Wands in the horizontal. Queen of Wands, inverted, and Temperance. Yes, this is somebody who's been a beacon of light and has attracted quite a number of individuals that were not benefiting you, because they saw that you would give the best to others before you'd give to yourself. You had people in your vicinity that exploited that and left you feeling stuck. Stuck in, not an indecision. Indecision is what I heard, but that's not in the literal sense. It's kept you stuck as in you were not able to advance forward. They would use this generosity of yours for them to get ahead, and you would still be at square one, or only one step ahead when they'd have more. And now that you're realizing this, 7 of Swords, you're re-strategizing. But it's almost like you're waiting for permission to take this step and to put it into motion as a habit for yourself. You don't need anybody else's permission. This is something that you know that you should do for yourself. Take that step. It doesn't have to be forever, but take it for a while and see how you feel. Notice the difference. 10 of Swords. The Tower and Death. This behavior and this practice caused you a lot of grief. And actually, this is what you're seeing now, is just how led astray this caused you to be in certain situations. And it's nothing to have guilt over. You don't have to carry the weight of that burden. You can release it. What you needed to do is change the behavior. The guilt and the burden was getting heavier with time as the behavior continued, but now that you're awake to it, you're going to be able to release everything, and it is all going to go as if I'm getting the visual of somebody pulling chute, like pulling a parachute, and releasing themselves from everything that they accumulated with this behavior. So this is a very freeing time for this frequency. King of Cups at the bottom of the deck. This was holding you back in your love life. This is going to allow you to really leap forward. You're going to be able to make a lot of progress now in other areas of your life just by altering this one practice or putting this practice into play. You're going to set yourself on a whole different trajectory, which is what you've needed. And now you're ready for it. So I leave this with you, 12:34 on the timer, and I wish you peace.